the in-between times. This is August, sandwiched between the sun-drenched days of summer and the work, schedules, and anticipation of what lies ahead. It is a time of this and that, of now, and also looking ahead and preparing for the future. This is still a time of waking up to the bright summer kitchen and lingering long into the morning. It's also the time of endless conversations about curriculum, our upcoming K-Vita trip to Italy in October, and the full weeks of autumn that are right around the corner. I suppose you could say, this is also a time of lots and lots of coffee. In our world, August looks a lot like working ahead. The work before me today here in our dining room and schoolroom is going to take me pretty much all day. And as much as I would love to sip espresso, today instead, I'm going to make myself a drink that is very good for me, gives me something warm to hold in my hands, a mud water latte. And I would like to thank Mud Water for sponsoring today's video. It's made out of cacao and an assortment of different functional mushrooms and masala chai. It's absolutely delicious. Mud Water is full of wonderful ingredients that help support immunity and focus and energy. What drew me to having Mud Water in my pantry was that I could sip it past 10 a.m. I love having something frothy and nourishing in my hand. Using the special link below my video and my code Shaye, which is all one word, make sure you check the spelling. There's 2 E's, 2 L's, and 2 T's. You can get 15% off your Mud Water starter kit, and you also get a free frother with that purchase. So make sure that you use that special link and that special code. Details are right below the video. You know, these kids aren't little anymore, but they sure can still make a mess like they are.
They sure can.
You think they would have learned to pick up after themselves?
No, they'll be doing this apparently until they're old. And we'll probably be cleaning up after them.
Yeah.
Until they're old.
Yeah.
It's always a big undertaking to get ready for the school year, every single year. So there's still a lot of work to do just to be ready.
Yeah.
But it's good work. And it's the kind of thing that it's easy to kind of feel like it's too big and so you put it off. But then once you get into it, you're like, actually, this is really exciting and there's a lot of good stuff going on. So.
Is that mostly because you get to teach Lord of the Rings again this year?
That helps. That helps.
And you get to teach it to Owen.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I had Georgia in my class for the first time, that was kind of weird. And now I'll have Georgia and Owen. And they're both in junior high school. So that feels really weird.
In our world, this is a season of working ahead. Taking the time that we have pocketed away throughout the day to be in 2 places, 2 times at once. On any given day, I can be harvesting summer tomatoes or taking photographs of the holiday items that are going to be featured in our online store, Limone. I can be tackling homeschool preparations or working hard in the hot summer gardens, pruning and weeding to my heart's delight. Either way, there is certainly work to be done for both now and for the season ahead. Since we can't only live in the here and now, I tucked away for a few hours this past week to focus on taking care of our disaster of a school cabinet. Please let me know that I'm not the only one whose cabinet looks like this at the end of the year. What always begins with great organizational intentions inevitably ends up in a bit of chaos. But I've learned not to fight it because the goal is enjoyment, education, and enriching the lives of the children. Still, we need to look ahead to the future and prepare for what's coming this year. And that means out with the old and in with the new. It means dealing with the past of last year, the present of today's demands, and also the future that we'll be stepping into this coming school year. Organizing, stocking, and preparing is a part of them all.
So this is what year of homeschooling for us?
Well, I guess
10?
it's around 10. Yeah, around a
Okay.
decade.
9.
Yeah.
Probably, 'cause
What's that?
I did my first grade year.
Yeah.
Somewhere else.
Yeah.
You still did a lot at
Yeah.
home. That was kinder
Yeah.
prep. So that was the
Sure.
year before kindergarten.
Yeah. I don't keep track of stuff like that, partly because like homeschooling, I really call it home education, which begins day one.
Right.
Right. So we don't even keep track really of like what grade they're in. It's really a matter of mastery and those types of things. And home education never really stops.
Well, I think that's kind of what's so interesting about the home education piece is it actually is really multifaceted. So even though you're going to be teaching the kids specific literature and specific skills, focusing on specific skills this year, in the broader context of home education, that includes a lot of things.
Mhm.
Things like chores or
Absolutely.
cooking or
Yeah.
dishes or
Yeah.
even, this summer we've taken on cleaning the house
Mhm.
as a family so that they can learn cleaning skills
Yeah.
or catechizing them.
Yeah.
All these sorts of pieces that you wouldn't necessarily shove into
Homeschool. Yeah.
homeschool day.
I think it's helpful to think of it both ways. I think it's helpful to think of the homeschool part of things, and so that you can like plan out the homeschool stuff. But then I think you need to incorporate just the fuller, more holistic understanding of home education, and then you can make sense out of including things like chore time and routines that fall outside of maybe a traditional school setting. So I think of it as both, and it's helpful to kind of plan and schedule and develop routines with both in mind.
I shared briefly last year over on our newsletter, which you can join below, that Stuart has stepped into the primary role as our children's home educator. Before the Elliott Homestead, Stuart was a teacher, and getting to educate our children is probably his greatest challenge and joy. While he labors diligently over transcripts and lesson plans and tutoring in our co-op, I'm here to help by organizing, tending, supporting, and making sure that everyone has what they need. This new setup allows me to focus much more of my efforts on the other work at hand, our cooking community, our store Limone, our newsletter, and our K-Vita trips to Umbria. Even this work is part of the children's education, as they not only watch us labor, but watch the work that goes into building something from the ground up. All of these pieces we think of as gifts to our children, meeting the needs that they have now, and also working to meet the needs that they will have in the future.
What are the pieces of home education that you really find joy in, the pieces that kind of keep you pushing forward?
I think that develops as the kids have developed. And they're just in the nature of doing homeschool with the kids. You don't know quite what is ahead of you until you get there. And then so I would say my answer to that now has more to do with seeing, especially the older kids, kind of grow into and develop into very competent and creative people. And a main fundamental priority in the way we approach school is with a focus on who our kids become and who our students become, not primarily what they can do or what they know, though those are very, very important, but who they become. And so I think we're starting to see, with the older kids especially, who they're becoming. And that is a source of joy. We're not done yet. And we got to keep our eye on the prize and keep our eye on that end goal of helping them become someone who's true, good, beautiful. But yeah, that's pretty amazing to see that develop. And I think you start to see that a bit more now in these later years. But it's mixed with a lot of other stuff too. It's mixed with a lot of heartache and a lot of challenge, a lot of obstacles. So that's all there too.
It lifts my heart to watch Stuart labor so diligently over his children. He cares for their hearts and for the ways that they see the world. He answers their questions and challenges their thoughts and pours his soul into preparing them for the life ahead. Even though my role in all of this is now slightly different than it was when they were smaller, it is still my delight to ensure that our home is a place of provision, education, beauty, and play as they continue to explore and grow. And everyone loves a bouquet of freshly sharpened pencils. August toggles us between all of these big plans, the plans of shaping and growing them in the coming year, while at the same time leaving us open for the magic of this month, this moment. We want to appreciate and savor and delight in that too. And so after all of that cleaning work is done inside, all that preparing for what lies ahead, it's time to play and enjoy the fruit of the summer. Panzanella with tomato and basil from the gardens, grilled meat and grapes from the vine. This just feels like the perfect cap at the end of our scholarly labor. Before we tread too far into the future, we're still living in this delicious moment. Making sure to knock a few tasks and projects off of our summer list before moving into the autumn, and making sure that our bellies are full of all the good things that the Summerland has to offer. In today's case, it meant also putting a few finishing touches onto the new pool patio, a place that we will delight in for the weeks ahead as we finish out this warm and beautiful and magical season, filled to the brim with sunshine and twinkle lights and harvest and pleasure. Here and now, there's plenty to keep us busy and delight us.